It was a bright and breezy afternoon down at Philiphaugh on Saturday as Selkirk hosted Musselburgh in game week 2 of the Scottish Premiership. Musselburgh will have been eager to carry on a strong start to the season after their resounding win over GHA last week. This was Selkirk's first competitive league match of the season after their fixture against Jed Forest the previous week was called off due to a positive COVID test. Musselburgh were first out of the blocks as barely 3 minutes had passed before a penalty in their favour meant skipper Danny Owenson kicked for the first 3 points of the match. Selkirk responded in much the same fashion though, as 5 minutes later scrum half Scott Clark kicked from a penalty to draw level at 3-3. Yet another penalty followed in the 20th minute, this time in Musselburgh's favour as Danny Owenson again managed to nudge the ball over from some distance to pull the visitors ahead. Selkirk were beginning to find their feet though, and finally crossed the whitewash a few minutes later, with Ben Pickles finding space out wide to punch a hole through the Musselburgh defence and diving over to make it 8-6. The scoreline was a tug-of-war at this point though, with Musselburgh again relying on a penalty to pull 1 point ahead, Danny Owenson once again being the man to do so. Selkirk gained the advantage going into half-time though, as captain and number 8 Ewan McDougall caught a well-timed offload from Josh Mackay, making for an easy run-in. Scott Clark added to 2 extra points, making the half-time score Selkirk 15, Musselburgh 9. The home side opened the scoring in the second half just 3 minutes in as centre Andrew Grant-Sutty managed to shrug off 2 attempted tackles, barrelling his way over the try line for Selkirk's second try of the match. Scott Clark kicked another successful conversion, making for a much more reassuring scoreline of 22-9. It was a hard-fought match from here on out though, with both sides struggling to get a foothold in the opposition territory, taking almost 30 minutes before the next points of the game. Musselburgh's prop Colin Arthur was the man to break the deadlock, spinning off of a Selkirk defender and managing to thump the ball down on the line amidst a pile of bodies on top of him. Danny Owenson continued his consistent kicking on the day, adding the conversion to make it 22-16. Selkirk responded again 5 minutes later with the 5th penalty kick of the match, Scott Clark adding 3 points from a fairly easy angle. After this came what must have been the try of the match though, courtesy of Selkirk's fly half Callum Anderson. Picking up the ball from the line out, Anderson opted for a chip and chase which bounced perfectly back into his hands, leaving him to outpace his markers and run in under the posts. Scott Clark added the conversion for his 5th successful kick of the day, making it 32-16. Musselburgh did respond right before the final whistle as winger Gregor Tate saw his chance and slid over right in the far corner. This proved just a consolation try though, as the spoils on the day went to Selkirk, the final score being Selkirk 32, Musselburgh 21.
Really happy with how we played in spells. Game kind of broke down sort of second half, got a bit scrappy, but no, overall happy with the 5 points. I think that's probably one of the very few tries over the years I've got where I've went in clean. It's usually a 5 metre out job, but no, just happy to get that score just before half time. It kind of gave us a lift going into the second half.